Game number 2 at the Acer Team Story Cup match between Dignitas, Complexity Dignitas that is, and Team Acer. Starting to the bottom right, we have the starting player for Acer. It is Bling. He was able to win his first game today versus a Terran player, took down Select, and now on this big 4-player map, he is going up against a Protoss. The power of Protoss to the top left, it is Bling for Team Dignitas, and of course in this case, since they have a partnership for the ATC, it is Complexity Dignitas. Let's see how he fares against Bling. Bling is someone that is always good for very interesting strategies. Some people call it cheese, other people call it timing. Doesn't really matter what you call it, it's most of the time very entertaining to watch. So for now, I just want to see what Bling does. It's a big map, and we've been going over this like a long time for like eternity. You can go double edge before pool against Protoss here, especially since you, of course, assume that your opponent is not scouting you in the first position. And we see a lot of players actually doing this against Protoss, but quite a few also just try to go into the spawning pool instead, get the faster queen out there, try to be a little bit more active with the speedlings on the map. So I'm not quite sure what exactly Bling is going to do, but from the way that he oftentimes plays, yeah, sends out the first drone for the hatch first. So far, nothing that is out of the ordinary. Question now being, is he going to go for the double hatch? Most Zerg players, if they take double hatch before pool, actually start with this one outside. So I guess he might go into the spawning pool, but right now your guess is as good as mine. For these Protoss players to the top left of the map, we have right now the Nexus being built. Nexus first for Bling. Also here, not really a big surprise. It's definitely something that you can do on this map, unless you want to be super aggressive. And Bling doesn't really want to overcommit to anything, so he gets the spawning pool after all. He doesn't want to play too greedy. And yeah, let's see what exactly he is going to be able to do with that. I mean, for now, we have the Overlords trying to get into position. The first one is going to arrive at the top right in just a little bit, and then he will at least be able to determine that Bling is not starting there. The other one is making his way over to the bottom left, and looking to the top left now, we have the first probe being sent out. So the scouts are on. The scouts are on the way, trying to find out what exactly is happening there. But at the same time, we have, for both of them, just trying to get their economy in a really good shape, or kind of blind. I mean, right now we have the third base already built very fast. This is basically the fastest third base that you can get if you want to get the spawning pool after hatch. Like the fastest one that you can do. So that might be exactly what he was intending all along. I really don't doubt it. Big map, want to play greedy, but you don't want to play too greedy if opponents try to rush you. So it's a pretty good build for this map. I mean, right now, let's see, the probe is going to make its way to the bottom left. The problem really for Bling is that he doesn't have any scouting information whatsoever. There's no drone to the top left, he didn't drone scout, so right now he only knows that there's nothing to the top right. He's going to determine there's nothing bottom left. He will be happy that he's cross position, it gives him a little bit more time, but the annoying thing for him is really that he doesn't know what's going on. So it's not like he has a unit over there, he's sending the Zergling in right now, but there could be anything. He of course assumes that Bling is going to play a bit more of a greedy style just because it's a massive map and that he goes into the next first and then tech, but he doesn't really know what's going to come his way. And I highly doubt that that Zergling is going to squeeze past the Zealot. The Zealot is basically the Protoss bouncer that is right there at the door, and usually they don't let you in. Like, they go for the face check and they're like, sorry dude, but you're way too ugly to come into our club because we are like so elitist. In our club, only former Brood War players come in, and that's basically the same that happens on Reddit all the time. Suddenly everybody's a Brood War player, and it's like, oh my god, yeah, I've been around for like eternity. It doesn't really matter. Like, the Zergling is not cool enough to come into the base, so suddenly there's a Mothership Core as well. That's basically the bouncer called the police and said to them, hey, those guys make trouble, throw them out. That happened. And we have the Oracle on the way for Bling, who started things off with a Stargate, which will never be spotted. The question is, will the Oracle itself be spotted? Like, which path does it take? If it runs into an Overlord, then it doesn't really matter for Bling, because we will see, let's see. Now we will see the Spore in time. And that is actually getting pretty close. That Zergling might just be able to spot, no. Doesn't spot it. Okay, so the Oracle is already passed. There's nothing to the bottom right now. There is nothing over here. There's no Spore Crawler right here, and there's none in the main base. Void Race the follow-up and a third base, which has been spotted, but the Oracle is now on the way, and well, this is gonna do a lot of pain. The pain train is coming, and it's 2 kills. It's 3, 4, 5. Gets a 6-1 without a problem. Watts can go for the queen here. Can take down the queen if he wants to. Now too late. Switches already. So 8 kills for now. Gets another one, maybe even 9 kills. And moves out. Oh, actually cutting it pretty close with the Oracle here. But 9 kills. That was absolutely worth it. And for now, Bly, of course, with the triple Spore Crawler here, trying to save his mineral lines. But yeah, that was a little bit annoying. And we have Bling with a double Stargate commitment. He wants to go for the Air Toss here. And we have him with the Sky Toss build going for the Void Ray immediately after the initial Oracle, taking down Overlords already, trying to supply block Bly and putting him in a position where his own development is a little bit slowed down. So pretty decent move so far by Bly. And we have also for Bly, for Bling and well for Bly as well. Bly missed the Oracle, but besides that he played a pretty standard style here, trying to play the greediest build that he could play with still being with still being safe, and I love it. Haven't I told you earlier that Bly is someone who always tries shit and that is always trying to go for like builds that surprise the opponent? That Nidus network there might be the downfall of Bling. Because one of the things, of course, as a Protoss player that you can count on if you are starting cross position against the Zerg is that it's pretty difficult for the Zerg player to cross the map with his units as well. Especially with Hydras. But right now we suddenly have this timing that Bly unlocks because he gets that Nidus network. The Oracle with 10 kills by now. And as long as there's no observer or nothing in the main base that spots this, this is going to get very, very dangerous. Bling is moving in with double Void Ray and a Mothership Core, and that could at least, well, that you can always recall, can do some damage. The question is just what happens when that, when this Nidus network finishes and all those units just streaming to that third base, because I don't see Bling holding here. I don't know about you guys. At this point we have 50 against 27 army supply. The army is already moving in for Bly. Bling at the same time is just moving in over here, and now suddenly he realizes what's going on. And even with all those Phoenixes, I don't think that that's going to work. Well, a couple of Hydralisks are immediately gone. The Queens are being picked off as well. But now the Phoenixes are starting to lose their shield. Down at the bottom right, though, the Queen is going to die. That's only... Well, there's another Roach Warren being built. It's the only Roach Warren, by the way. Not the only one. So there we have the Spore Crawler. The base might go down. The probes are fighting. It's Queens and also Zerglings for now. Too many... Yeah, the double Stargate is apparently too much for Bly. There are not enough Queens to really deal with all of that. The Zerglings, on the other hand, they are uncontested just now. The Oracle might be able to take a few down, but that third base is going to die either way. The same is, on the other hand, true at the bottom right, where we have the Mothership Core already gone. That thing is not alive any longer, but we still have a double Void Ray, and a couple of Hydralisks are trying to make their way in and take at least one of them down. He might be able to save that third base. At the top, we see the same thing right now for Bling. He's moving in with Oracle that has 30 kills and a couple of Zealots and is able to push those Zerglings back. Really good job by him. More Hydras coming in through the Nidus network, on the other hand. Even Creep Tumors put down by the Queen. And, well, he's trying to take down the Nidus network, but they... Oh, too many. Nice. He's baiting him in. And suddenly all of those... Yeah, there's the transfuse. All of those Phoenixes are in trouble and need to retreat. Bly versus Bling. We have 31 against 24 army supply. The worker count is a little bit better for Bling, and now he's on 3. He's on 2 bases against 3. That's a big problem for the Protoss player. Bly really made that work after all. He struggled against the double Void Ray here at the bottom right, but Bling missed when the Mothership Core was taken down, so he could never recall with the double Void Ray that he had there. Had to fly all the way back. That might have been... that might have helped him actually to save that third base somehow. But yeah, so far both of them just super aggressive trying to make that work. Bly, on the other hand, now with another Nidus network already, trying to set a second one up here. He still has a good economy and he's getting the additional Queens now that you would expect from him. We have him at this point with only 2. He needs more just to keep those injects alive. But the Nidus network is most likely going to go down. It's not going to matter too much to him because he knows that this one is already spotted. So he assumes that it's going to be attacked. And there's still the second one that he can of course use. The transition is underway already with the Spire and the main base, and we even have a 4th base being built by Bly now. Whereas Bling, of course, needs to take down those Creep Tumors first, which he does with his Observer. Moves in and takes them down one by one, but it delays his third base. It delays it again. And there's another Nidus network somewhere. Actually, not 100% sure where it is. Over here? Is it in the main base? Where did it build it? I actually do not know, boys. Like, this one we had already earlier, but he has 2 at this point, right? No, there's only 1. Was that killed? Did he take that down? Or am I seeing things right now? Apparently, oh, I think he was actually trying to put it in, and then it got cancelled again. Probably on screen, and I just didn't see it. Like, yeah, that happens. But yeah, for now, let's have a quick look at the resources lost. 14 against 13 harvesters killed, so that's pretty much the same thing. We have a little bit more resources lost for Bly overall, but of course this third base being ready for the Zerg and the Protoss not in a position where he can mine from that third mineral line, that is making all the difference. Phoenixes are moving in and they see that there's another commitment by Bly, but the +3 attack upgrade has been started for the ranged units. We have also the range upgrade for the Colossi on the way. And talking about Colossi, at this point there's only one, but there will be a second one in just a little bit, and then he can really do a lot of damage against those Hydras. The Queens, on the other hand, are a problem with their enormous range. Zealots going ham on that fourth base, and this is most likely not going to make it. With only 2 Hydralisks going up for the defense, I don't think that's going to be enough. We also do not have the range upgrade for the Hydralisk. That's a big thing here. For some reason, Bly never got any upgrades. He has no attack upgrade, he has no armor upgrade, he doesn't have range, he doesn't have speed, he has nothing for those bad boys. He's getting the speed upgrade first. I actually think he assumes that he has range already, which is definitely not the case. Well, it's not there. +1 attack is now completed. But this is starting to become a little bit of a problem for Bly. If he overcommits here and loses his army, he's gonna get wrecked, and this is looking very much like he's gonna lose his entire army. So many lifts already, taking down Hydras and Queens alike. Bly is not having a good time here, and suddenly the resources lost are heavily in Bling's favor. Even with that third base so much later, it's not going to become a big problem for him, since he was successfully able to deny that fourth base to Bly. So suddenly Bly looks at this and is like, this isn't going as well as I thought it would. A bit of a problem here. So Bling trying his best at this point with a an 88 supply army against 74 supply for Bly, sending the Phoenixes once again cross map, and this is starting to be a really nasty composition for Bly. Countering this is not going to be easy. It's a pretty high-tech composition for the Protoss player, and keep those upgrades in mind. We have already Blink, we have range upgrade, we have the +2, whereas Bly still does not get the range upgrade. Well, he has the speed upgrade for the Hydras. I think he doesn't know, guys. I actually think he does not know. And that's a very bad thing. If he still has no idea, that's absolutely horrible. Yeah, the last Nidus over there was just killed a second ago. You could just see the last move there. So the Nidus network not helping him. At the same time, we have the Phoenixes trying to move in at the right side again, but there's a double Spore Crawler and the Queen, so a little bit too much. +2 attack has been started. We already have another Nidus network on the way and a Hive Tech, but Bly definitely forgot the range upgrade for his Hydralisk. There is like no reason why he would not get it. If you get the speed upgrade for the Hydras, if you get as many Hydras as he did over the course of this game, he has 10, he lost 27. There's no reason to not get range. Yeah, definitely a big oversight by him. Double expansion now by him, 4th and 5th, spotted by the Oracle, which has 32 kills by now. Most of those, of course, being kills on just a couple of Zerglings earlier. That base is gonna have to be cancelled again. The Phoenix is still holding the middle, and at the same time, this is a pretty decent army for Bly as well. Army supply identical for the two of them, and with the Nidus network, of course, he's pretty quick to just jump back and help out over here. But the Queens and the Roach is already doing a decent job. Bly moving back actually, and that probe moves in and doesn't see the Nidus network, but it sees at least that there's a lot of creep being spent. The Queens are just a little bit too slow, should have used the Nidus, and that's something that I don't understand why he actually walks back all the way. The Nidus network would have been much faster for him. Suddenly he has to run from the Protoss player's army, and that is never a good thing, especially with Bling. Bling's in, retreats immediately, and Bly has to commit, but there's no range for the Hydra. Still, they have to get too close, get melted away by all those Colossi. It's too many Colossi already. We have 5 Colossi, only 5 Corruptors are left, and they are dying one by one. It's 4 Corruptors for now, and this is not looking pretty, not at all. The Warp Prison down here at the bottom, not only taking down the 4th base, but now also warping Zealots into the main, and this is gonna wreak havoc. Bly is gonna lose so many of his harvesters, and he might actually lose his tech as well. He has to defend this 3rd base. He doesn't even have the time to really go into the main and defend the main. He's gonna lose one of the two, and he might lose the game right here. Bly is losing way too much. He had a good start into the game, but now Bling is just doing way too much damage, taking down that 3rd base of his opponent. Bling with a great game, going for a 4th base as we speak. And as you can see here right now, there's just way too much going on. That 3rd is already eliminated. supply for Bling and Army supply might not be on par with Bly, but still, Bly doesn't have the economy any longer to really sustain this. 25 harvests against 71 already tells the tale. He cannot remax. The Protoss player has 2,500 minerals and then 2,000 gas backup. There's the GG, and this is game. Bling tying up the score here at the ATC match in the 3rd season. Bly winning the game against Select, but against his Protoss opponent, he was just not strong enough. So let's find out who Team Acer sends in next.